Steps of Mummification by Nick S., Harrison, Mark, Jeff, and Shaheen. Step 1. Embalming the body. First, his body is taken to the tent known as Ibu, or the place of purification. Here, the embalmers wash his body with good-smelling palm oil wine and rinse it with water from the Nile. Step 2. The removal of the brain. A hook was used to go through the nose and smash the brain and pull it out individually. If not all the brain was removed in that process, water was poured in and it would dissolve the remaining brain. Step 3. An insertion on the left side of the lower abdomen. An insertion was made in the lower left side of the abdomen and all the internal organs were removed and let out to dry. Step 4. Removal of all internal organs.
Egyptians knew how quickly a dead body can begin to decay. So the Egyptians removed all internal organs as soon as the death as possible to slow this process down.
Step 5. Drying the internal organs. In this step, the organs were individually dried for their own steps of mummification. Step 6. Placing the lungs, intestines, stomach, and liver inside their designated canopic jars.
The Egyptians put the internal organs in hollow canopic jars. They were usually inscribed, and the lids were put in the shape of the gods that protected each organ. The heart was always returned to the body because the Egyptians believed that the heart was needed to make the journey down to the underworld to be judged and see if the mummy was worthy of going into the afterlife.
This step is in charge of making the body clean and smooth. The palm oil and spices were used as antibacterials. They both cleaned the body and also killed off the bacterials in it.
Step 9. Covering the corpse with natron or salt for 70 days.
After, little packages of natron, similar to salt, are stuffed inside the body and covered outside of it too. The reason the priests do this is because the natron eliminates the fat and grease within the skin and purifies it too. It's mainly used so the body does not decompose.
Step 10. After 40 days have passed, stuff the body with linen or sand to give it a human shape.
The body, after being covered in salt for 40 days, would be dried out and would lose some of its lifelike appearance. To counter this, priests stuffed the body with sand, linen, and/or sawdust. This would make the corpse more recognizable. They would also replace the eyes with false ones, to give the body a more living aspect.
Step 11. After 70 days, wrap the body from head to toe in bandages.
The priests would wrap the deceased person head to toe in bandages made from linen. They needed to wrap the body tightly to prevent the body from decaying. If they didn't, the body would be exposed to moisture and henceforth decay. Bandaging was a very delicate process that took somewhere from 1 to 2 weeks. Things like toes and fingers were wrapped separately before things like hands and feet were included. To protect the dead on their way to the afterlife, the mummies were given amulets and prayers before being put in the sarcophagus.